this is my reflection on my current preventative practices. I would say right now I'm probably doing the best job I've done in my 3 years at Indiana State. I'm focusing on prevention because of a couple reasons. First, I am out of season, so I think it's easier to focus on prevention rather than getting ahead of your treatment and then focusing on prevention, which is obviously a perceived barrier. Secondly, I think I have some strategies to organize my prevention practices. I looked in sportswear. I have 8 patients right now coming in on a daily basis. 6 of them are on some sort of maintenance strengthening program because of their injuries they sustained during the fall. So that's 6 of 8, that's 75 to 80% of the patients I'm treating right now. I would say in season, that's probably around 40 to 50%. I think that's because I don't know, I think I still don't know how to prioritize which joint to implement a preventative program on. So looking through my injuries from the fall, I have pretty similar amount at the ankle, the low back, the shoulder, the knee, the hip. So do I implement a prevention program for every single joint and tailor them to the 4 athletes that sustained that injury? Or do I do one prevention program for the shoulder, even though I had the same amount of injuries at the shoulder than I did at the knee? So I think that's my number one barrier. I just don't know what is more important, because I don't think it's feasible to have 4 people on this prevention program and 6 people on this one, and so on and so on. I think maybe if I was a little more organized or had a systematic way of making sure that the athletes that came in for their specific prevention program, I could, 1, supervise them, and maybe I just need to get some help from a student. But I think that's the number one barrier, is that I have so many broad spectrum injuries all over the place that I am unsure which one to pick. And it scares me a little bit to think about implementing 5 different prevention programs for 5 different joints or 5 different injuries. What do I have to change to be able to implement this in the future? I would say doing my research at my new position to see where the injuries occurred, when the injuries occurred, how, and then doing my research to determine what the best preventative program is, and then getting some insight from maybe my colleagues about what they've tried and the dynamic of patients that they see, what resources I have. So I think really it just boils down to doing my research and being